took over at third base for Wilmer Flores.
Humm, baby.
Enjoy this great game.
One of the greatest things about the game of baseball is no matter how many games you've seen, there's always something new waiting to happen, such as the clip you just saw, which is number 25 on the list. Pitcher J.J. Putz getting thoroughly distracted by a sound effect in the middle of his windup. Throughout the history of the game, there have been thousands of absolutely wild, unexpected, and hilarious moments caught on film that nobody could have seen coming. And these bloopers occur at every level, but in today's video, we will stick to the professional ranks and check out my list of the 25 funniest bloopers in professional baseball history. Most of these will be MLB bloopers, but there are a few classic minor league moments I had to include as well. Keep in mind, these are the funniest bloopers, so there are some insane and wild MLB moments that did not make the list simply because they were not exactly funny, but I will also link at the end of this video my most insane MLB moments of all time. So without further ado, let's continue the list.
He was just a tremendous pitcher, a great competitor. I've always maintained, excuse me, I've always
That was always one of the funniest clips of all time, the legendary Harry Carey. But another funny announcing moment happened more than once, and it was Phil Rizzuto calling himself Bill White, the name of his partner.
Well, hi, everybody. Welcome to New York Yankee Baseball. I'm Bill. Wait a minute. Hi, everybody, and welcome to New York Yankee Baseball. I'm Bill White. Wait a minute. Oh, and I swear to God, I didn't.
In order to keep these ball fields so beautiful and green, grounds crews obviously rely on a variety of factors, including sprinklers. But during the era of automatic sprinkler timers, well, we already know what's bound to happen.
Got a piece of it.
Had a good piece of it, and actually had a real good swing.
Oh, look at this. Here go the sprinklers. The sprinklers have fired. And we're obviously going to have a delay here.
The sprinklers are on in the outfield.
As if it couldn't get any worse for Oakland's defenders.
They're trying to cool them
Trying to
off.
hose them down.
How about
The
that?
timers, that had to be on a timer, right?
And I see one of the grounds crew guys, he's darting out to center field. I wonder if that's where the...
Oh, yeah.
Sprinklers have come on.
Oh, well, this is the thing that will work for the pitchers. If they can find the on-off switch for the sprinklers, they can get extra time between pitches.
这支内野安打当然带有1分的打点哦。这个时候外野的洒水器突然。
This next moment I watched live when it happened, and it's such a classic moment, perfectly described by Dwayne Kuiper as a Norman Rockwell moment.
Camera guy's got the ball, and he's going to pick out a youngin' to give it to. Good move. And the brother's angry.
How come he gets one and I don't?
Had a great shot. Yeah, can you get another one? That's a Norman Rockwell right there.
The little kid did end up getting a baseball, and everyone was happy at the end. Not sure if I can say the same for this next clip with Eloy Jimenez of the White Sox getting tired of the speedy center fielder Luis Robert catching everything in sight, even balls that were hit to Jimenez. And on this particular day, when Robert came running over to make the catch, the reaction of Eloy Jimenez was priceless.
Now look, that's ridiculous timing. Come on, stop it. No. Don't be doing that. Pick and roll, Eloy Jimenez.
He looks at him going, wait a second, can I catch a ball every now and then?
Nothing feels better than absolutely crushing a baseball and knowing that you've hit a home run, except, of course, when you haven't. Check out this hilarious clip as Delvin Perez thinks he's hit one out and nearly completes his entire home run trot before realizing the ball was caught.
Launches this one out to left center. And the wind, oh my goodness, gonna knock it down.
He thought that was gone.
So did I. Malloy makes the catch. Perez, I think, still thinks it's out.
Up next is one of the weirdest strikeouts in professional baseball history. Josh Fuentes was up with 2 strikes. The pitch was a complete mess up of a pitch that never came near the strike zone, and as a joke, Fuentes swung the bat. and the umpire called him out on strikes. Number 17, Manny being Manny. At number 17, I couldn't pick just one Manny Ramirez moment, so please enjoy this quick compilation.
6 RBIs, and look at this, an extra base hit. First major league base hit for Ramirez, and he thinks it's a home run. Look at this. He thinks it's a home run. He thinks the ball went out.
You can't do that. The ball bounces away. Now here comes the first throw that Manny cuts off. And then Manny throws the bell horn. That's one of the strangest relays I think you'll ever see.
Throws open, so then he's heading on in.
Maybe there's a fan in there or something. They keep
0-2, softly bloop to left. Ramirez coming in. Manny will run it down. And high five some more.
The delayed strike call, and Ramirez looks back. Garcia struck. He just got tossed out. He just got tossed out on the first pitch of the at-bat with the bases loaded.
Normally on a slow roller down the line that you know is not going to be an out, you just let it go. Hope the ball rolls foul, and when it does, pick it up immediately. But Lenny Randle of the Mariners found a way to help influence the ball without touching it.
Fastball tapped at the plate. It'll trickle down the third baseline. The Mariners are going to let it roll. Lenny Randle gets down on his hands and knees and blows on it like a curler, and it goes foul.
In a more modern clip that just happened, we see another attempt to blow the ball foul, but in this case, he didn't quite put forth the same effort as Lenny Randle did, and the ball stayed fair. Number 15, the Bad News Dodgers. Clayton Kershaw and the Dodgers were having a nice game against the Padres with an 8-2 lead when everything suddenly fell apart at the same time. Check out this play in which the Dodgers defense completely loses it.
High pop fly, shallow center. Here comes Puig. Throws to first base. The throw by Ellis now goes to center field. Here comes, are you kidding? That goes all the way to the backstop. Around third and coming to the plate. Kershaw gets out of the way. Holy mackerel.
Number 14, Steve Lyons caught with his pants down. During a random MLB game in 1990, White Sox utility man Steve Lyons bunted for a hit. And then apparently he thought he was in the locker room changing and pulled down his pants in front of thousands of people.
Did you see that? He's going to get the dirt out, and all of a sudden he unbuckled his pants and they fell down.
And Steve Lyons, despite having over 500 MLB hits, will always be remembered for pulling his pants down.
And he strikes out Caesar. Molina trying to find the ball. And it's connected to his chest protector. I have never seen that.
How about that?
As a Giants fan, I'll admit that this at the time was not funny. But in the years since, it has become an iconic and hilarious incident, thanks in large part to the amazing announcing job by the great John Miller.
Swinging, there's a shot deep in the right center. Racing back to Lucci. Still going back into this valley. It goes right over his glove. He missed it, but Ruben Rivera missed second base. Now he's heading for third, and they're going to throw him out by plenty, but the throw to third is boxed. Now he's heading home. The loose ball in the infield, and he's out by 5 feet at the plate. And that was the worst base running in the history of the game.
One of the most classic and hilarious moments in MLB history has to be the Canseco assist. It's probably not the only time that a ball bounced off someone's head and over the fence, but it's certainly the most famous because it happened to one Jose Canseco.
High fly ball, right field deep. Canseco back to the track. Looking out. It is off his head, it looked like. And over the top. Look at it. Martinez's 4th home run of the year.
It was July 5th, 1989, and the Cincinnati Reds were in Philadelphia. The game was tied in the bottom of the 10th. The Phillies had a man on. After a base hit to right, the Phillies right fielder Paul O'Neill knew he had to come up with it cleanly in order to save the game. Unfortunately, he did not. But then, miraculously, he got the ball back to the infield with his foot.
Base hit right field, but they're going to have to hold Jeltz at third. And now the ball gets away from O'Neill. He kicks it to Benzinger.
No, I do not believe this.
This is the all-timer, Tommy. The absolute all-timer. He kicked the ball to Todd Benzinger.
In subsequent years, O'Neill revealed that he thought the game was over and he kicked the ball in frustration. But at the time, it looked like an absolutely amazing play to get the ball back to the infield as quickly as possible after the bobble, causing the announcer to assume that O'Neill must be a former punter. Number 9, the chase. According to former MLB player Jim Traber, when charging the mound in Japan, pitchers normally don't just stand there and wait to see what happens. They get the hell out of there and force the batter to chase them all around the field. Traber found this out during a hilarious incident while playing in Japan. After he charged the mound, chased the pitcher all over the field, ended up falling over, and got kicked in the face multiple times. Here's the clip with Traber telling the story.
Yeah, he hit me 3 times, okay? It was a left-handed pitcher that would come out of the bullpen, and they always came to me. I probably faced him almost every game that we played against this team, and he threw me a first pitch breaking ball like on the outside corner. I said, great, they're going to pitch to me. I thought, this is really cool. And then the next pitch, he drilled me. So I'm chasing him and knocking people over, trying to stop me. And I catch him out in the outfield, and I get some good shots in on him. They're all laying on top of me, and their manager, who's one of the greatest pitchers of all time, his name is Koneda, he comes over and steps on my face. So we clear the whole thing out. I get over to the bench, and they obviously kick me out of the game. And I sprint across the field at the manager. I'm going after the manager now. Well, their catcher knocks me off balance, and I fly through the air and land at the feet of the pitcher, the manager, and he kicks me in the face again.
Number 8, Rodney McRae versus the wall. Former first-round draft pick Rodney McRae only had 3 career big league hits, but his most famous moment came during his minor league career.
Teammates are like kind of scared to come down there because they think I'm like dead. So I'm sitting there. I didn't want to panic, so I'm sitting there touching my forehead and my nose and my forehead and like, okay, I just ran through a wall. Okay.
Number 7, Marcell Ozuna misjudgment. Most baseball fans know Marcell Ozuna is not known for making the greatest judgments off the field, but sometimes he's not much better on the field.
And a fly ball. Deep left. Ozuna back scales the wall, and it drops.
You know, you're not going to catch the ball anyway.
And that will be a ground rule double, and Ozuna apparently is hurt.
Or maybe just his pride was hurt. Honestly, I would have stayed down and face planted too if that happened to me. Number 6, Beltre moves the on-deck circle. It was July 26th, 2017, and the Rangers were getting blown out by the Marlins. Umpire Jerry Davis instructed the on-deck hitter, Adrian Beltre, to stay near the on-deck circle. Beltre obliged by moving the on-deck circle to him.
Just move it over here.
Wow. It's 18-6. The conversation continues between Beltre and Davis, with Bannister in between, trying to make sure that Beltre doesn't get suspended for anything he might do here.
The second man umpire came down and he told me I need to move. I have no problem. I'm going to get hit. I've been hit when I stand over there. So he goes, well, I don't care. You need to be at the top of the mat. Okay. So I pulled the mat where I was at, and he threw me out. If you see the video, you see everybody stand in the same spot. Why was that a problem today? I've been staying in the same spot the whole series.
A player forgetting how many outs there are is not exactly super rare, but the funniest times it happens have to be when the defender catches the ball, thinks there are 3 outs when there are not, and then throws it into the stands or gives it to a fan.
Fly ball to right. And Bradley plays it off to the side, and he doesn't know how many outs there are. He just throws the ball into the bleachers. That's only the second out of the inning.
This one is even funnier because Benny Agbayani gives the ball to a happy child, and when he realizes that he messed up, he actually takes the ball back as if it's still live.
He scores, and Agbayani thought there were 3 outs. 2 runs will score. Burks is in. Agbayani gave the ball to the fan. He thought there were 3 outs.
Number 3, the greatest meltdown of all time. It is one of the most entertaining clips on the internet. During one random minor league game on June 1st, 2007, after his pitcher was ejected from the game for using a foreign substance, Mississippi Braves manager Philip Wellman went on the most awesome and hilarious tirade of all time. Number 2, David Holtz versus the Angels. A scary line drive hit into one of the dugouts is not exactly rare, but to do it over and over and over again into the opposing team dugouts and to the same spot seems all but impossible, but it actually happened, and Rangers outfielder David Holtz did it so many times that the Angels bench all moved to the other side of the dugout in one of the funniest moments in baseball history.
For 3 tonight, a pair of singles. He gets fisted and fights it off toward the Angel dugout. Strike 1. No, that's no good. Again, slapped that way. Same spot. Uh-oh. Corner. Gray with the 0-2 pitch. Same spot almost. Still 0-2.
Number 1, the Killer Cat. Coming in at number 1 is the Killer Cat of the Seattle Kingdom, and especially the reaction of the second grounds crew member who tried to pick up and carry the cat. The announcers did a marvelous job of commentating this hilarious event. So let's take a look at my number 1 professional baseball blooper of all time.
Like a little calico cat, and he almost falls on top of him, and the attendant finally tries to reach down, pick him up, and finally gets it. Oh, my.
Little cat did a great job to get away. Oh! The cat got
scratched
away.
him. It not only it got away because it scratched him, and the attendant just threw it straight down on the carpet. Finally, another attendant picks it up, and the attendant that got scratched just
He's in pain. Look
now,
at him.
boy, that cat is mad, and he got rid of it.
Tough little guy.
And that does it for this week's countdown on the top 25 bloopers in pro baseball history. I hope you all enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts and feel free to add more suggestions in the comment section, and perhaps I'll have enough to make a part 2. Make sure to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. Thank you to my members for voting on this topic. You all are amazing, and that goes for all my subscribers and viewers as well. Thank you for the support, and we will talk to you in the next video.